Welcome to the Authentic Human Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Vickers. Similar to how military and special ops use remote viewing to access secret information, I communicate directly with universal beings to better understand creation, existence, and evolution. For the past 20 years, I've worked with thousands of people around the world, helping them gain access to the highest level information possible so they can achieve their ultimate goals. Right now, I've partnered with the Creator and some of the most influential beings in existence to bring you the story of creation. My goal is to create a world where you remember who you are and why you exist. Welcome back to the Authentic Human Podcast. Today is part 16 of the story of creation. And so let's see who's coming to join us today. So we've got angelics from the second stream. So if you've been following along, the angelics from the second stream are those who were tasked with creating experience in this universe, okay? So they're here. Jesus is also here. And it's really, this is really cool because a lot of the light beings and the star beings. So we're going to get a little more into who they are and what their roles are. But right now, what they're sharing is there are, so light beings are those who, it's almost like the way they're showing me, so when I see them and why today their color is a little bit different. It's actually quite beautiful. It's like a peachy color, but their energy goes up and down. Their light moves up and down, and not just in them, but throughout the vibration of the universe, right? So what their role is actually to hold space. And what I mean by that is it's like containment. Okay. It's almost like they create a container for whatever experience we're going to have, right? So it's like if you're going to make cookies, you need a bowl because you're going to create that experience where you put all the ingredients in and then you need to mix it and it needs to be contained. It's exactly the same thing on an energetic level. So these beings are designed to hold space. Now, they want you to understand that holding space, their vibration is extremely high in purity. Okay? It is like extremely high, like they're 100% pure universal beings. If you want to understand purity, I highly suggest you grab a copy of this. If you do not have it yet, it's the book Believe, and there is a whole chapter on purity. So it's very helpful. And so what they're showing me and what they want to communicate with you today is understanding that their job is to hold purity for the universe, but also for experiences themselves. So every experience that's created from a universal perspective. Okay. So this is very different than a human perspective. A human perspective is, these are my rules. This is my control. This is how it needs to, this is the outcome. This is the attachment to the outcome. This is how it needs to unfold, right? Like we're very strategic in our details because of our past traumas, because of our past experiences. And that's what we were talking about in our last episode in part 15. And so what they want to clarify today, okay, is helping you to begin to understand that purity it's existential is the word they're using. There's no, humanity can't put a limit on how much purity is and isn't available. Okay. This is really important because ultimately, this is your protection. Okay. This is where most people don't get it right. Okay. Because of the world we live in and the traumas that we've experienced and ultimately that we're carrying, because yes, you're carrying it. If you still have a mental um, belief and challenge, right, about how you're emotional reacting, you're still carrying trauma. It's fine. It is what it is. But what they're saying is you do not, we're not supposed to have boundaries. We're not supposed to have limits. We're not supposed to create those dynamics because universal beings, which is who you are at the essence of who you were created to be. So what the creator really wants you to understand is universal beings are existential, which means there is no limits, but there's also no rules. You can do whatever you want, right? That's the one law in this entire universe is free will, as far as what creates our opportunities and our limits. And so what these particular beings do. So these light beings hold different vibrations depending on the intention of that experience. Okay. So today they're here and their vibration is 100% purity, but they also have awareness of every other aspect of existence because we can't ever lose it. But it's understanding that they're not willing to ever barter or bargain on the level of purity that they carry. And ultimately, this is part of humanity's downfall. Humanity's challenge is we consistently, on a regular basis, barter our purity away. What does that mean? What does that look like? That means when you commit to someone else or something that is less than the fullness of your heart's vision, you're settling for less than pure. This is really, really important because we do this every day. And we've been taught that this is compromise and it's healthy. And that's how our relationships are meant to thrive. And what, what they're showing me is the energy of purity ensures our awareness is always going to be based on truth and compassion and love and respect, and that the cultivation of our soul and who we are is what we're meant to be holding for ourselves and each other. And when we don't allow ourselves to hold that space for us, no one around us can, because we've chosen to align with a lower vibration. And so, excuse me, these beings are here. You can feel their vibration and their energy today. It is really high, it's beautiful, but it is simple and it's clean and it's calm and it's pure. It's like, honestly, it feels like being surrounded by really high vibrational crystals, and the purity of them. They don't need anyone or anything to determine who they are. They just be. And they also don't allow anyone or anything to deter them from being. Okay. And this is really important because we do that all the time. You do that throughout every single part of your day. And this is the heart of what humanity is working through right now. Okay. This is the heart of the resurrection of the human race. Okay. This is why all of these changes are happening. This is why, spiritual awakening is a thing, is because we're literally being given the opportunity to reclaim this to restore our ability to be who we are, because that's when you start creating impact and participating in evolution, right? Right now, we're just a whole bunch of humans that are following rules, and we're not feeling truth in our own selves, right? Why do we not? Because it's really uncomfortable to feel truth and try to play everything down. And so right now, we're going through this dynamic of who are we going to be? Are we going to be the person who feels truth and rejects it? Or are we going to be the person who feels truth and follows it? That means that following through, it means allowing that truth to speak through you, for you, with you, right? And how do you do that? By using the energy of purity. And so they're so beautiful, and it's so uncomplicated. It's literally like speaking to children who just get it. They say what they say what they feel and what they mean. They don't convolute anything. That's how we're meant to be, right? Uncomplicated. And so if you feel these light beings, and I'm seeing it like a peachy color today, that's how they're presenting as they're holding the vibration and space of purity. And what they're showing is it's also recognition that it's softer, right? So it's not there's a lot of people who are caught heavily on their mental belief system of what colors represent and what they mean, and that's fine. It's having the fundamental and the basics, but it's being able to understand that energy doesn't work how we've been told. It works through the alignment with your soul and your soul's awareness in each moment. And so these beings, you can feel it. They've just shifted, and now they're literally helping the energy come up and rise. So the peachy color, if you will, today, it's representative of your ability to rise above the physical limitations that you've set for yourself. Okay. So your belief system is ingrained in your activities as a result of, who you've been taught to be. Really important anymore. Okay. It's not really important how you got here. It's really not. What's important is that you're allowing yourself to recognize the truth of where you want to go based on where you're meant to go. Okay. So if those are in alignment, you're going to be flowing and comfortable. If what you want and what you're meant to be doing are moving in opposite directions, you're going to be experiencing massive discomfort right now. That's brilliant. Okay. It's great because it will show you that you still have fear that you're working through. Okay. You still have, it's about reclaiming more of what you're meant to be doing. Now, this is where, so allowing yourself to receive more information, to receive more awareness, it's calling in these light beings who will hold that space of purity for you. They're basically, they're like, they're foundational parts of the universe. And they're still conscious beings, but they're not like humans where we go out and take one thing and allow it to evolve and create. They're more static in their approach, in the sense that they don't change what they focus on. They change how they focus on. Okay. So their goal is to their goal, their focus, their reason for existence is to hold space, which is an art in itself. And so if you're wanting to understand existence and the space of existence and how to experience one different experience from another. Okay. Those are the beings you want to work with. Like, call on them. They're here now. So you get an understanding of, first and foremost, that they exist and what their foundational intention is. But also, the reason that this whole story of creation is so important is so that you begin to really understand the universal beings, who they are, what they're meant to be doing, so that you can remember and that you can start to call on them and participate and work with them, right? That's how we're meant to exist, is to work together, but working together through conscious awareness, right? Humanity, and as we've been learning in the last few parts of the story of creation, humanity, once we've been inundated with all of this transformation talk, and we're tired and we're exhausted and we've had so much trauma, that we're at this place now where we just want someone to come and fix it for us. We want someone else to do it, right? It's why religion has really taken over in the way that it has, because it defaults to someone's going to come and save you. All you have to do is believe in them, right? And it's not true, but you also don't need saving. It's understanding that you have the ability to create monumental recognition of your soul's existence, your soul's purpose, your soul's potential, just like these beings that are here right now, that are here to hold space, that are here to, show you and guide you and help you understand that holding space is actually a hugely important part of universal existence, right? There's so many of us that we're so worried about what our role needs to look like and how it needs to look. And we're coming from this competitive comparison, right? Because that's what we do in this world. We've been taught to compare everything, not value certain roles, and higher value gets placed on other roles, which is what allows us to reject a lot of what we're feeling, because we don't want our role to be what we perceive that minimal or that not important, or sometimes we don't want it to be that big, right? That's the other part, is we want it to be that big, but we don't actually want to tell anybody. We don't actually want to do anything with it. And the reality is that we're living in a world that is so foundationally different from our own existence. Because when you understand that every single universal being in existence is important, every role, every intention, everything is of equal importance, because it's how we come together that ensures we thrive. The problem right now is nobody's coming together. Everyone is floundering in this me, which is part of what happens when you forget that the universe holds space for you, that you are meant to hold space for others. And it's, again, holding space does not mean you give your energy away. Okay, because they're not giving any energy away. If you feel them, these light beings are holding space in a way that allows their energy to grow and expand as needed by those who are choosing to participate. So, as we go higher in our vibration, in our conversation, in our experience that we're creating, their energy is getting bigger. Their energy is it's working with the vibration of what we're creating here today, the experience that you're having. And that will go on until the end of time, because we've chosen to create this space in existence in this moment. So this is already started. And then by the time this comes out on YouTube or Rumble or Facebook, it will already have a different vibration, and it'll be continuously growing. And then as every single time there's another person who participates in watching, it will grow and it will make more of an impact in evolution. That's how history actually works. Okay. And your ability to feel the truth and the awareness and the vibration of existence is what helps you understand that you're valuable, you're worthy. Your existence is contributing to the awareness of everything. Your existence itself contributes to consciousness. Consciousness is not a thinking approach. It's an awareness approach. It's your ability to follow through and be who you are in any given moment. And what they want you to feel today, what they want you to understand, the Creator is saying, this isn't about it's not about me shaping you. It's not, as in him, it's not about him shaping you into someone you need to be, right? That's how we've been taught. That's how we learn, right? By someone else telling us who we need to be, how we need to do it. That's, the entire education system and the religious system. The understanding today that he really wants to bring to you is your thoughts, your awareness, and what you do with those is what propels you into creating your own space in existence. And right now, most humans are playing in spaces other humans have created. That's why your life feels so uncomfortable. And what they want you to feel is these star beings, these light beings. The star beings are a little bit different. They're more about the boundaries of this universal experience, and which is boundaries as in it creates that awareness of, oh, okay, so do I want to take this outside of this experience, or is this a universal experience, right? Like that's the bigger boundary that we're going to. And you work with them when you understand how energy works, when you understand how the universe works, but they work with you all the time when you maybe choose to do something that is in alignment with this universe, that isn't an alignment with free will. And so they'll push back a little bit and say, nope, oh, we don't want to do that because that doesn't work here. It doesn't align here. It's crazy. And yet it's not. It's so finite because it will never be comprehended through our mental belief system of the world that we live in. These are concepts that are far outside of any mental limitations. And so you really have to feel the energy of what they're sharing today. And so ultimately, the goal is for you to start creating a space where your vibration and your energy is focused on your higher calling, your highest goals, right? So not what you want versus what you're meant to be doing. They need to come together. They need to marry, to it's beautiful. It's like you're fighting against yourself. And this is where so many people, all of your fears, all of your resentments, all of your anger, your judgments, what happens is those two directions begin to repel each other. And when they start to repel each other, we have ailments that arise in our bodies, physical ailments, physical challenges, disease. We have ailments and disease that infiltrate our relationships, right? Our relationships with other people, our relationships with things like money and time, and our intentions and our things, right? Our stuff, our homes, our whatever it is. And so the goal at this point is for you to begin to understand that those two parts of your life, right? What you're meant to be doing and what you want, they need to come together. How do you do this? First and foremost, it's about beginning to honor how you feel and who you are. And honoring, again, we can't use pity for honor, right? This is where so many want to try and use pity to use that as the currency to receive honor. Honor is a deep recognition of self. It holds respect and compassion and purity and truth as its main goals, its main focus. Again, all of those are in Believe if you have not read it yet. And it's understanding that in order to honor your presence here, you're going to have to lose all of the fears and the dramas that you've been choosing to carry. Okay. And the way that it's really cool how they're showing me, because it's like, it's really beautiful actually, as I'm feeling it, because it's like I'm swimming in the ocean. It's very, very dark. But my awareness of self, if you feel this, it's like, an octopus kind of look, and it's like a blue energy that is alive and light and beautiful. And as I'm swimming forward, what they're showing me is there's pieces, there's strings that are leaving. And the way they're showing me is some of these strings have been tied up and wrapped around my tentacles for so long that you can't even recognize who you are without these beliefs. And that's what you're doing right now. It's swimming through water, so it's dense, and you have to put that effort in, right? It's recognition that you're not going to make it if you don't swim. You're just going to float. And this is where a lot of people have been, is hoping they make it if they just float, right? That's what happens when you have this vision and you have these wants, and you can't get on board with either one because you're worried something's bad is going to happen if you follow one and not the other. But it's true, because they're not meant to be separated, right? And so what happens is the pieces of you have to leave them behind. They have to trail behind. Don't worry, they're not going to hit somebody else. Someone else isn't going to pick them up. Don't get into that drama. It's recognition that your journey is meant for you and you alone. Okay? You have to stop worrying who you're going to take, how you're going to take them, making sure everyone else is going to be pleased. And, if you're part of a family, it's understanding that that family is chosen specifically and strategically to ensure everyone in the family thrives. But it's your mental beliefs of what that looks like and how that needs to look that needs to change. Those are the pieces that need to literally fall away from your body, because it's only your physical body that's holding. Your physical and mental beliefs are holding you. It's not even prisoner. It's that you can't move forward when you're tied to all these beliefs. And so this is why purity and the vibration of understanding how to hold space is so vital to where you're going on a universal level and through a universal approach, right? So you've got your physical, your soul, and your universal. And let's face it, you have instincts that tell you certain things that you know you're meant to be doing, you're meant to be feeling. I'm not, we're not here to tell you those things are right or wrong. You know what's right and wrong for you. And it's going to consistently change and evolve based on how you feel and how you participate, right? So how you participate today is what you communicate to the universe. This is where I'm at. This is what I want. This is how I'm participating. So the universe can give you back what you need, But when we don't participate, when we hold in that space where, it's this, well, I really want to do this, but I can't. And these are all the reasons I can't. We're not doing anything, right? Or this is what I want, but I'm only going to do like 10, 15%, but I'm going to say it was like 100%. So I feel really good about myself. We're just lying. And we can't take those beliefs with us anymore. And so what all of the universal beings that are here today, what they want you to begin to feel and understand and recognize is that sovereignty is a state of being. It means you choose to see the truth of who you are. You choose to feel who you're meant to be and what you're meant to be doing with your life. And you choose to follow it with a deep knowing and recognition that you following that makes the world and everyone in it better. Number one, it makes you better. That's where we are. You need to choose to participate on that level. And everyone is or isn't. So every time you see, this is what I'm meant to be doing, oh, but I'm going to try this and I'm going to do this, you block out the bigger awareness. And this is why humanity can't get it together, so to speak. This is why it's been such a struggle, is because we're carrying too many ideas and ideals of how it needs to look and how it's going to be fulfilled. Stop worrying about how it's going to be fulfilled. It will happen if you choose to participate, but it won't happen until you choose to participate. So for everyone who's in that space of waiting and hoping, you're not participating. That's why it's not happening. You got to be all in. Think about the last thing you were all in on. And it doesn't even matter if it was like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 50 years ago. What matters is you remember that it's possible for you. And your job now is to decide if you're going to continue to let all those buts, what ifs, or shoulds stay in your way, or if you're going to allow yourself to actually feel the potential of your being. Okay? And your soul is just giving you that feeling right now, that that vibration, and just turning it up a little bit so you can really feel the depth and density of your potential. And just allowing yourself to really and truly recognize it. And this is about no longer just choosing to feel it when you sit in energy. It's about allowing yourself to choose to feel it all the time. Allowing the truth to permeate your actions, your intentions, your thoughts, your words, everything that you do, think, and be. That's what the goal is for you. Just allowing that to fill you, that truth, that knowing. You're massive. Your impact is meant to be massive and significant. There is no such thing as not important if you're in this universe. And there's no such thing as a hierarchy. It's in deep recognition that every role is significant and important, and you're meant to follow what you know you're meant to be doing. And your job is to figure out how to find the courage to do that. And that's where you need to leave those ideals and ideas that are limiting behind. Until next time, it is so. Thank you for tuning in to the Authentic Human Podcast. I'm Michelle Vickers. If you're one of the select few who felt the depth and energy of universal wisdom in this episode, I invite you to join our private community, the Authentic Human Collective, where episodes are recorded live and the conversation and exploration go far beyond what the public is ready to hear. Find all the details at michellevickers.com.